Skyward Sword is one of the weirder Zelda games, for a number of reasons. Zelda is a total flirt, Link's apparently right-handed, assuming you're also right-handed, and people get really mad at you when you break their expensive-looking vases and chandeliers. Like, dude, all I'm saying is that if you don't want me to knock down your chandelier, maybe don't put rupees and a piece of heart on top of it. You know, they don't get there themselves. But no, the big reason that Skyward Sword is a weird Zelda game is because it's almost entirely built around motion controls, which makes porting it to a console that doesn't have the same level of motion controller support kind of tricky. But Nintendo seems to have figured it out with Skyward Sword HD, making it fully playable without any sort of motion controls using either the Switch gamepad or a Pro controller. How does it work? Well, let's take a quick look and find out. One of the big new things that Skyward Sword HD adds from a controls perspective is the ability to freely control the camera with the right stick, something that was literally impossible on the Wii due to there only being one control stick. When you're playing without motion controls though, things work a little bit differently due to the fact that the right stick is where Nintendo has placed your sword controls. So if you want to move the camera, you'll have to first hold down the left bumper and then move the stick. It takes some getting used to, but fortunately there's also the option of just doing the classic 3D Zelda thing of centering the camera behind Link with Z targeting by pressing the left trigger. Combat is where things see the biggest change, and there's a couple of key things to make note of. First off is the fact that because the game was originally designed around direction-specific attacks rather than the more traditional just stab whatever's in front of you, you need to flick the right stick in the direction you want to slash. Quickly move the stick in a direction and then quickly let it return back to its original position. It's a little bit finicky. If the stick doesn't go all the way to the edge, you won't get a slash. If the stick holds on the edge for too long, you won't get a slash. It just needs a quick little flick. The second major thing that you need to know is that when you come up against an enemy that blocks in a direction, you have to actually flick the stick in the direction that they are guarding, because the stick motion mimics the path of the sword. It's not hit the left side, it's actually swing the sword from the right to the left. It's a bit counterintuitive, but basically instead of thinking of them as shielding themselves, think of them as holding up a sign that says attack here. Stabs or forward thrusts are handled by clicking in the right stick, while shield parries are handled by clicking in the left stick. Skyward strikes can actually be done more easily by simply holding the right stick up, and finally you can also use spin attacks by quickly moving the stick left, right, left, right, down, or up, down, up. Everything else in Skyward Sword HD pretty much works as you would expect. Instead of holding up the remote and tossing bombs, for example, all you need to do is equip a bomb, move the right stick up, and press the right trigger. You can ride your bird with normal stick controls, the harp can be played just by moving the right stick back and forth, and anything that would typically use motion controls to aim now can use the Splatoon-esque hybrid aiming system that uses both the right stick and the Switch's gyro controls on the Pro controller or the gamepad. Hopefully this helps you get a bit more comfortable with Skyward Sword HD's new non-motion controls. For more, make sure to check out our review along with the first minutes of the game. And for everything else, keep it here on IGN.